Welcome to the Sports by Fry channel. My name is Fry, that is JLo, and today we're discussing everything AFL Fantasy with round 13. Well, it's already underway, actually. So we are going to dissect our AFL Fantasy trades for this week, talk a little bit about some of the carnage from team selection. Apparently, the boys at Quisblurken were dealt a bit of a hefty blow.
Mate, they were absolutely decimated this
Not
week.
great. Large Fries and Coke managed to dodge a lot of the severe bullets for the second straight week. There was a few outs that affected me, and I'm sure there's a few outs that affected a lot of the coaches around the fantasy community. But before we dive into team selection, let's talk straight about the Dogs and Port game. So it is currently, what day is it today? Wednesday afternoon in Toronto. Thursday afternoon in Toronto. It weirds me out. Not weirds me out, that's not the right word, but it always confuses me, the days and the mornings. And
even though Perth's 12 hours behind.
It's
not
exactly
hard to figure out. It's just like, it does, I struggle.
When we're crossing days is when I get confused. But yes, it is currently Thursday afternoon here. It's morning our time. The Dogs and Power played. How many boys did you have in action?
I had 3 boys in action. 2 boys did absolute crap for me.
Yeah.
Robbie Gray was solid, I guess. It's a solid bounce back game, but
it was a great bounce back game. It's 3 straight 60s. I was
well, yeah, it's a great in like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all relative.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not that great of a game, you know. 105.
You take it.
I'll take it. I'll take it, mate. After 60s, but it wasn't like Jack McRae.
True.
You know,
big dog.
And then I also had Toby McLean and one other Port player who we'll probably talk about in my trades later. So,
okay. Because
I did trade him in. He did shit, but I traded him in. So
okay.
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
So
but
you can
throw it in action. Yeah.
With through the process of elimination, you can figure out that probably wasn't Wingard and Rocky. Wingard was on my radar to bring in all week.
No Ollie Wines either. He was on my fucking radar.
But
2 weeks in a row.
I decided, just trying to get Plantus in the right action shot, decided that I wasn't ready to back in Wingard after one good score, especially considering, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, he's had a lot of shit scores this year. Hence the reason he's priced under 500 grand.
Well, look, when was Wingard on fire or Australian in form? I was living...
I want to say 14.
No, early. Mate, I was still living in Scarborough. 13.
No way.
Really? Yeah.
I didn't even realise he'd been in the league that long.
Yeah, must have been 2013 when he went off. And so, since then, what's he fucking done? Like, I thought he was going to be a world beater, you know? Like
every year, everyone's like, oh, he's going to be, awesome. But, he just... From a fantasy perspective, he's never been great. Never been amazing. Just having a look here. He was a All-Australian in 2013 and 15. So, there you go. No, neither do I. I don't think he does either because his fantasy scores lately haven't reflected that.
Which, admittedly, don't necessarily... All-Australian.
All-Australian is not a good...
but let's be honest, Toby McLean isn't like an amazing player. Good player, not. But fantasy-wise...
No, not at all. So I... And eventually, went around a long way to tell this, but I didn't end up trading Wingard in. But I do have Rocky, so it was fucking awesome to see him bounce back and have a big one.
Yeah.
120 plus. That definitely helps me because I think this week I'll only be fielding 18 or 19. There's one trade move that's still a little bit up in the air, and that'll determine if I have 18 or 19.
See if we can't figure that trade thing out on the pod.
Yeah, true.
Live on the air.
All right, let's dig into actual team selection. So let's start with your boys. What happened? What happened, mate? Tell me what happened. What happened in team selection?
So Eddie Phillips out, Heron out, which was that was coming from a mile away. It was just a bad.
You go back 2 weeks as one opinion of one Alex Fry that said, "Don't get that man." Anyway.
Oh look, I heard you at the time, but it was just like I needed money.
I'll probably be doing something similar.
Yeah, I needed a bloke who wasn't going to fuck me during the bias. So I'm being very expletive, guys. Sorry. He was out. Walter's out, obviously.
Oh yeah.
There's just like a bevy. Honestly, there's too many to remember, but it's been pretty rough at selection for old Joe. And like the Ed Phillips thing, like who saw that coming?
Yeah, the Ed Phillips one is one that his omission is pretty brutal. The coaches were expecting him to be a good contributor this week. And his break even's like 20 odd, I think. So yeah, he still has room to grow.
I'm definitely not chopping him out.
I am.
I am.
Yeah.
Going for it.
Just because it's 2 weeks that he's not playing. Like, there's no chance of him coming back next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I have to get him out to set myself up for next week. Really, if I want to field a full 18, I think it's wise for me to get him out. But yeah, it's kicking the dick. I don't really want to do it. But
sucks. Oh, O'Shea was another one I missed. Sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I was able to dodge a lot of the bullets. I was spewing that Rory Laird didn't come back in. That was one that really.
Now he's got another week off.
Really gypped me, yeah. But like I said, I think I mentioned it fully last week, but if I didn't, let me just quickly reiterate. Basically, if you have one of those like ultra premium dudes, like top 2 or 3 at that position, if it's only going to be like 1 or 2 weeks, throughout the buys, I think it's a hold. If it's any other week, you probably trade. So if it wasn't the buys, I'd probably be looking at getting rid of Laird. Yeah. But at the moment, I just don't have enough confidence in being able to get him back in post-buy. So I'm going to hold on to him.
What's he worth at the moment?
He'd be around 700, I think.
Pretty close to 700.
I think he's the most expensive defender.
Oh, yeah. He's Stephen Doherty, obviously.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's 700.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not...
706.
That's not unreachable, though.
True.
Like, you could potentially trade him down to someone who's a surefire moneymaker for the next week or 2. You know, like someone who's...
Angus Bray. Oh,
yeah, I know. But, you know, like he's been for the last 2 weeks. Lucky had good games for me those first 2 weeks. But then,
You had him for both those 2?
And then the crap one last week, yeah. And so, even last week, he still earned me 7K. And I'm just, it'd be nice if you could grab a 2-week bloke who's a good player, might have good scores, hopefully will go up, but will, save that money for you to just... I know it's a bit of a wasted trade, but it's also just, wasted money, wasted 700K essentially. Yeah. That's the way I look at it in my financy brain.
This buy, we're only 2 weeks in. Technically, we're only a week and a half-ish in to this buy rounds. Okay, yeah. I swear to God, I haven't seen as much carnage and as people fielding so few players.
It's me this week.
I'm struggling. I'm battling to field 18 the next 2 weeks, and and I was the one that was I put in so much time and effort into planning this, and Jesus Christ, I've been.
Oh, I mean, that selection this week was rough.
Yeah,
because we said.
And last week it was dudes had 6 or 7 people out, Canelio, Dusty, Laird. Who else was out last week? There was a big plethora of dudes. Caulfield was out as well. Yeah, I can't even remember who. Anyway, a lot of people got burnt. Yeah, I'm looking okay. I'm pretty confident that this week I'll have a good eight. The players who I do have playing will score okay for me. I'll probably iron off a pretty similar score to last week, but
not for J-Lo.
Yeah, hopefully the big one will be if Tom Mitchell goes big for me as my skipper, because I had my VC on Jack McRae, who injured himself in the halftime warm-up. Are you fucking kidding me?
I've done worse, mate. I've injured myself my debut game for South Fremantle.
Oh, really?
Debut game. I was just coming off 10 weeks with a calf injury.
Yeah.
In the pre-season,
I remember
round 5. I was doing the warm-up kicks on goal, and because I've got really fat feet, I have to wear shoes that are a size too big, too long, sorry. And I kicked the ground, did my ankle that way, a weird way, couldn't turn. And there's so many people on the sidelines who came and watched my debut game. They're like, man, you don't have much of a turning circle. And I was like, man, I did my ankle, in what? But I'm not telling anyone I did my ankle in warm-ups.
No way.
Exactly. It's the most embarrassing thing ever. Off a 10-week, they would have been like, who is this bloke? So I've played through, so there you go.
You played one more waffle game than me, so kudos on that regard.
Waffle reserves. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, mate.
No, they wouldn't have known. You could have just played that one.
They might have Googled it. You never know.
True.
Anyway,
Google J-Lo sports by fry. There he is. God, Jack McRae, you fucking bastard. He really did me a number, because I was just penciling him in to go bang, and since I brought him in,
it's been pretty
he's been 113,
for a
107.
Cost you $850.
He went 150, 140, 150, 140, 149, 148.
He went,
oh yeah, I'll get him in. 113, 107, 44.
Yeah.
And he's by.
That's rough, mate. It's rough.
And
you take the good with that.
Making matters worse, the week that I could have got him was the week that, remember, before those big four games. No, that was the week I got Danger.
Yeah.
And then he had those big four, and then I brought in McRae, and then he's done this.
Yeah,
I didn't do a very good job of explaining that.
Yeah, no, that's right.
It's been a long day. It's been a long... it's already been a long week of the bye.
It's been a long bye.
It's okay. It's okay. At least we can take solace in knowing that everyone's in a similar position. No one likes the bye rounds. Everyone plans for them. Everyone tries to put plans in place, but God, it never works out pretty, does it? Team trades. At the moment, I'll go first.
Sure.
I'm doing some pretty boring stuff with me trades,
Righto.
although I'm getting Elliot Yeo this week. I'm pretty happy about that. I've tossed up between him and Cade Simpson quite a bit. And
Dual position.
Yeah, his DPP is probably getting him over the line a bit. He's only 30 grand more than Simo, and Simo's got a bit of a cruisier run.
Yeah, that's...
But...
he's got Freo this week, isn't he?
Yeah, Freo and then Collingwood, I think, from memory.
Well, up and about.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, look, Yoey's just... Simpson's looked pretty old this year, I think is the best way to define him. Like, he
is fucking old.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I asked the Traders boys this question. I think they actually answered it on their podcast. And I think Calvin, one of the dudes, was just like, yeah, you go with the youth. Like, you're backing the younger dude there.
And look, let's be honest, like, because he's getting older, they're not really competing. They will just give him weeks off.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking good player. Like, they want him and Doherty back next year because they actually could have a crack next year. Let's be honest. If they get a full year out of Cruiser, full year out of Kerno, Cripps doesn't get banged up much.
Mark Murphy stays healthy. He doesn't bounce to Geelong like everyone's rumoured.
Yeah, that's true. But still, I could definitely see them having a decent, like at least a finals run next year. So maybe they will start to put him on ice a bit, which plays into the Yo hands as well.
Bit of a stretch for mine, but I could definitely see them trending upwards. So it makes sense to put those blokes on ice this season.
Yeah,
anyway.
Well, look, I'm not saying they'll be definite finals contenders.
No. I know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah.
Sylvain, another year in him. You know, the other Kerno, Charlie has another year in him.
Could happen. So Yoey's coming in this week. Ridley's going out for me, the Dons defender.
Oh, yeah. He went out last week for me.
Yeah, he's just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
I wasn't originally... 250.
I
wasn't originally planning on trading him out. I had a couple of other trades in the works. So I was going to get rid of Duday, but like I said, I'm struggling to field a full 18. So this week I have to take Duday's score.
Yeah.
And then next week Duday will probably go for me. But yeah, Ridley to Yoey's one move. Next one is Eddie Phillips to Giro from the Dockers. So that makes me a bit of dough. And then another boring one.
You expect Giro to hold his place for a few weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the youth...
How was he on debut?
He scored 250s. He's like 55 and 57 or something.
2 weeks. Oh, where's the time gone?
Yeah. So
that's spun me out a bit.
Those are the two moves that are pretty locked in. And then the third one, I've decided to get rid of Giles Langdon. I could
forward for you.
Yeah, I could maybe hold on to him for another week or two, and then, like I said, this is the trade that's kind of a bit up in the air. Because basically, next week I want to go bang, bang, bang and get some guys, especially with now that I know McRae's injured. I'm like, well, if I trade him out, yeah. And they reckon it's probably 2 or 3.
Okay.
But even if it's just one, you know, we saw what happened with Josh Kelly with the 1 week groin injury. So I think especially with like a superstar midfielder who I can turn into any other player in the competition. Like,
he's not losing money.
True. And in saying that,
like, he did.
I'm still holding Rory Laird, but this McRae thing's a different scenario. So I think this week my last trade is kind of centred around getting someone who can play for the next 2 weeks. Doesn't matter like what you did with Heron. Doesn't matter what really they do from there on out, because then they'll probably be my F8. And it might be a bit early to throw away a last bench spot, but if someone's playing in the middle part of the year, there's all the chance that they're going to get a couple more games in the latter half. So at the moment, Paddy Kerr from Carlton, Charlie Ballard from Gold Coast, and who's the last one? Oh, Patrick Wilson from the Crows, who's named to make his debut.
There's a bit of Hannibal Lecter about that. You just did. That was creepy, mate.
Okay, not bad.
Cut that from forever.
Yeah, right. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, won't happen again. So those 3 are on the radar. Wilson is making his debut, so he's cheap basement price. And then the other dudes are like, there's 200 grand and then 230. So the 3 of them no one really stands out. All 3 of them are pretty dodgy, cheap rookies, young kids. So I don't think any of them will be lighting the fantasy world on fire, but as long as they get me a decent score, you know, if someone goes down or is laid out this week, then at least they can give me 40 points that might...
40 points, 40 points.
Absolutely. So, yeah, those are the 3 dudes on my radar.
Okay.
Once again, I posted a poll on Twitter, much like I did last week with the Source Jacobs move, I think it was. So, yeah.
Which you didn't go through with.
No.
Yep.
I was like, should I trade out Ridley and bring in Yo and have the cash or do this move? And I didn't do either of the two.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But this move will probably definitely maybe sort of kind of, don't know, be my third one. So the poll's on Twitter. Check that out if you want. Alex Fryer with 6 underscores. So you can find me there. Actually, what's your Twitter handle? We said we were going to find it out. Jake Luthian?
I've got no idea, mate. I can check it now for you. If you talk for another minute.
You don't use Twitter a hell of a lot. You went through a little spurt, but
I just got a bit busy. Look, I enjoy it. I just don't understand it well enough, you know. But let's see.
Anyway, we're taking forever to do this stupid video / podcast.
It's Jake Loth, JakeLouth. There you go.
There you go. Find all the valuable insight from JL there. So yeah, those are my 3 trades.
Righto. Go on mine then, I guess. So I've already had one player play from my trade. So what I did is I went Alex Pearce out, and I had a ton of cash to burn. So what I did was I went Darcy Byrne-Jones. Had a feeling, didn't pay off. But he's had a few good...
He should be all right.
Yeah, a few good weeks. And what I figured is like he can just sit in my back line, which is now honestly looking like the best it's looked all year.
Yep.
He can just sit there, do his thing, hopefully trend up. But otherwise, I can look to move him in a few rounds time.
Yeah, okay.
But he felt safe to me.
Something worth noting. I think I read that, including the last 2 weeks, I think 7 of Port Adelaide's next 11 is at Adelaide Oval, and they score like shitloads more points when they play at home compared to away.
Well, I was looking at it as well. I think Paddy Ryder is back to his best finally after the Achilles. Was it in round 1 he did it, or maybe even pre-season?
Yeah, I
I feel like he's finally back. Like
okay.
Not maybe like as good as he was. Was he Australian last year? It was close to it anyway. Last year or the year before, he had like I feel like he's back to his best, which I think is going to really bolster Port Adelaide.
Yep.
I feel like they're going to be the team the second half of the year that really go on a run.
Yeah, well,
hopefully other than West
I
Coast.
picked them to finish like 4th or 5th. I reckon they're going to be make a bit of noise in the finals.
Yeah, so they're about even now, aren't they?
About that, yeah. I think they might even be a tick over, but
I've got a feeling they might just get it together. And like when you see them dropping blokes like Jack Watts, who's not a great player, but let's be honest, he's like probably the best 22 kind of guy.
Yeah. They brought him over from the D's to be in their best 22, not to be a squad player.
Yeah, so it's nice to see that they can drop him and then go out and drop the Dogs, by 50, 60, 100 points, whatever it was. So I brought him in. I brought Darcy Byrne-Jones in. Didn't do well, but I'm feeling okay about that long term. Next, I wanted to go, I think it was Lukey McDonald to Tommy Mitchell.
Oh.
So I was going to do that. It was locked in. That was the only trade that I was 100% on. But then I got smashed by selection. So what I've ended up doing was chopping out Lukey McDonald.
Yeah.
This is a cash thing, so I didn't have the cash to go to Mitchell with my other move, which was, I just need to remember it. So the move I've gone for there is very similar to yours, actually. I've gone Lukey McDonald to Yo in my midfield for now, and he'll slowly get moved back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. And then I've decided to bring in Jared Brander. 2 West Coast boys back in my team. Debut. He's got a few weeks before Darling's back. And I think they'll give him a few weeks anyway. To be honest,
8 debutant this year for you guys. That's crazy.
And
you had the fewest in the league last year, and you're gonna have the most this year. That's classic.
Yeah, I think that you need some youth through a young team that's hunting a premiership. I think you need youth.
You look at last year, and even 2016, there was heaps of young cats.
Yeah.
Don't even know. I don't really know if they were debut year, but still they were.
And even you look at those original the Dogs from 2 years ago. Joe Hannison was really quite young then, and there's a lot of guys who are. He's not young, but he hasn't played a ton of games. He's an influx of.
Isn't he like a 150 gamer?
Is he really?
I think so.
Oh god, I might be way off.
I thought
at that point he played 60 odd games.
I could be wrong.
Yes, which would put him close to 150 now, really.
Yeah.
Sort of. Anyway, so yeah, the other move was to bring in Brander. So I think he'll get at least a few weeks. He was more expensive because he's our #1 draft pick, but I think he's going to go up a little. So bring him in. I know he's not going to miss the buys. I mean, he won't miss with any buy time. They're my 3 trades. I end up with about 150
left over.
Yeah, so which is where I'll make my move for Tommy Mitchell. Devon Smith's coming in guaranteed next week, and I'm hoping to make a move for Maxi Gone. Well.
I hate the buys so much. I reckon for like 3 straight weeks, you and I be like, next week will be the Steph Martin or the Devon Smith or the Nat Fife or the Mickey Walters week. We just keep getting dealt shit after shit after shit.
No, I promise, I absolutely swear that Devon Smith, no matter what, I'm finding a way to
I played that game with Ed Kern. I was like, this is the week.
No,
and then I kept Robbie Gray instead, and he actually turned out all right.
Well,
so
look, I've done that with Fife all year, but no, Devon Smith is target #1.
That's why we play fantasy footy, isn't it? It's a roller coaster of a ride. Fingers crossed your teams didn't get dealt as much carnage as poor old Kusplurkin did. It's all right. It's all right. We're nearly through.
Nah, it's all right.
We're nearly through.
Yeah, I'm just going to quit. So
yeah, if you're searching for that delete team button, have faith. It is round 13. There is 23 rounds of footy, so a lot can change in 10 weeks' time. I don't think there's anything else really to plug. You got anything to plug? Oh, let me check out the famous birthdays, of course. I've been a bit slack in doing that, so I'm going to make sure that we do that every episode now, whether it's a Sunday sit-down. If you haven't listened to the Sunday sit-down, make sure you hit that up. What did we talk about this week? We did our fantasy stuff, a bit of footy stuff as per usual. The finals had just finished, had they?
Honestly, it's escaped me. What do we want to do with our team's draft picks as well?
Yep. NBA draft is this time next week, so looking forward to that. That'll be cool. Donald Trump is #1 on the...
Not getting a shout.
How old is Donald Trump?
I just saw it.
Oh, damn it. 72. Could be 73.
That looks
sometimes
about right, though. Yeah, maybe he does seem a bit sprightly for 72.
Bruce Bowen's birthday today. He was a good defender.
He was a great defender.
Yeah, great defender.
This is grim as fuck.
There's not a lot going on here.
Yeah.
No.
He's the man.
Good luck in round 13 or the rest of it. We've got a couple of Thursday night games in a row, so make sure you prepare yourself once the buys end.
Happy birthday to Faison Love, by the way. 50 years old. Congratulations, buddy.
Big birthday for him. Nigel's nearing his 50th. Not long till Big Nige turns 50.
There you go.
We'll have to give him a shout out when we do the trade video or the... actually, he might be out of the AFL season. Maybe on a Sunday sit. But yeah, good luck for the rest of round 13. Fingers crossed your fantasy team is doing a little bit better than ours and you aren't in as a shittier mood, but there's still 10 weeks to go. It's a lot of footy left to be played. Yeah, good luck. Till next time. Peace.